Hello everybody, and I got something from GameStop for pretty cheap. You want to know what it is? Well, this is my first video game finds video today on this episode of the Video Game Chronicles. Welcome to another episode of the Video Game Chronicles. Today I'm going to show you what I got at GameStop for pretty cheap. The first thing I'm going to show you is actually a game that I never owned, and there's a reason why I got it. The game is Metroid Fusion. Now this is a Game Boy Advance game, and the label is pretty beaten up. Unfortunately, you can hardly see that because I have this on manual zoom. Sometimes auto zoom can be a real pain, so I put on manual zoom instead. The label is pretty beaten up, but eventually someday I'm going to get another copy of this with a better label on here. But there's a reason why I actually got that, and here it is. It is none other than the Game Boy Player. And guess what? It actually came with the boot disc. And it also came with the manual as well. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I normally see this with the boot disc for like 20 or 30 bucks online. However, I got this particular thing, the Game Boy Player and the boot disc, for only 10 bucks. And when I saw it for 10 bucks, I knew I had to get it. And that is pretty cool. And it works too. I actually tried it with this game and it works. Hopefully I will get more Game Boy Color games and Game Boy Advance games in the near future, because those particular Game Boy games, the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games, all work on this Game Boy Player. Unlike the Super Game Boy, which only worked for Game Boy games. It didn't work for like Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance games. Hopefully I will get more soon. And I'm thinking about someday getting a Game Boy Advance, because the reason why is the fact that if you combine this game with Metroid Prime, and if you have a Game Boy Advance and this particular cable, you could actually use the fusion suit for Metroid Prime, which is pretty cool. But that's pretty much my video game finds in a nutshell. And by the way, I actually saw a price tag for this for $12.99. However, I actually got this for like 3 or 4 bucks. Can't go wrong with that, which is pretty cool. So, you want to know how much in total I paid for all of this? Well, it was under 20 bucks. And for under 20 bucks, you can't go wrong. Well, if I do another video game finds video in the near future, you'll find out. That is all I gotta show you, and hopefully there's gonna be more Video Game Chronicles videos on the way. But for right now, peace out to you all. Game on!